Hello YouTube. Today I'm bringing you a OnePlus One review. I told you guys I'd bring it to you. Finally, I've had this phone for about 2 months, so I've put a decent amount of use on it. I've learned the kinks to it. To start with the price point, it is a $300 to $350 non-contract phone. This is the Sandstone Black version. This is 64 gigabytes, and it is $350. To get into the first important spec would be the screen. It has a 5.5-inch LCD display. It is 1080 by 1920. It is a Gorilla Glass as the screen glass, and it has 401 pixels per inch. So it is a very nice screen. The entire phone is 6.02 inches by 2.99 inches by 0.3 inches in thickness. So it is a large phone, but it's managed. It's very well managed in the hand. I don't have very terribly large hands, and this phone fits in my hand perfectly fine, and I can use it with one hand. Let's get down to some more specs of it. It comes stock running CyanogenMod, and it runs the CM11 out of the box. It is Android 4.4 KitKat. The CPU is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 at 2.5 gigahertz. It's a quad-core processor. The GPU is a Adreno 330. It has 3 gigs of RAM, and it is either 16 or 64 gigabytes. It's non-expandable. That is a downside to it, but I don't see a problem with 16 or 64 gigabytes. The cameras. The front-facing camera is on the left side of the screen right next to the notification light and the ambient light sensor. Is a 1080p at 30 frames per second, and it is 5 megapixels. While the rear-facing camera is located right in the center with a microphone, one of the 3 microphones on it, is 13 megapixels. It shoots full-frame 4K at 30 frames per second. It will shoot 1080p at 60 frames per second, and it will shoot 720p at 120 frames per second, so it has a slow motion mode. It also has a dual LED flash. On to the other important specs of the phone. The Wi-Fi is 802.11a, B, G, N, and AC. It has Bluetooth 4.1. It is GPS enabled. It is NFC enabled, and it uses a micro USB charging point. The battery is a 3100 milliamp LiPo, so it is a pretty rugged battery. Not going to be too susceptible to memory and things along those lines. Now to get onto just the CyanogenMod or OnePlus One, the nice features of it. It has a double tap to wake feature. It also has many gestures, like if you do a circle on the screen, it will open up the camera automatically. While we are in the camera, we will go through the different modes that the camera has. They're all just easily set through swiping. Just swipe up and down and you'll get all of the different cameras, which is very nice. Nice easy settings for camera and video. The front facing camera is very wide angle, so that makes shooting selfies very easy. You can include a lot of people in a selfie at an arm range. Some of the other gestures are more media based. Like if you swipe with 2 fingers down, it will play it'll play a song. It'll play or pause your music. If you swipe with an arrow to the right, it will go to the next track, and an arrow to the left, and it will go to the previous track. Overall, this phone is very comparable in specs to any of the main flagship phones out there, and I really think it is comparable, if not better, than most of them. It does lack some customer support, which you would get with the bigger phones. But that is a downside. It is a $300 phone, not a $750 to $1,000 phone. Just a few more things about the experience with this phone. Most people, if they see it, are going to ask you what it is, so that's kind of cool. I've never had a phone that people have been like, whoa, what is that? It's a fun phone to play with because it runs every app I've thrown at it very well. It just breezes through games. It's just an overall well-built phone. The case that I use with it, as you can see, the sandstone black on it is a little bit worn after going into my pockets for about 2 months. The case that I use on it is just the hard shell plastic case that OnePlus sells on their website. It just snaps over, covers all the main ports, or all the main corners. All the buttons are very accessible, as are the ports. That comes to my last part of this review, will be the I/O. There is a microphone right on the bottom corner. There's a microphone on the top left side, and right on next to the camera there's a microphone. There are actually 2 speakers, so it is actually stereo. It's not mono, unlike most phones which have 2 grills but only 1. So if you're covering this with your finger, the other one will be loud and clear. Overall, this concludes my review of the OnePlus One. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe.